Things Nickelodeon wants to hide in SpongeBob SquarePants. Hi, SpongeBob fans. We're pretty sure that SpongeBob SquarePants is one of your favorite cartoon shows that have ever existed, right? Well, being your favorite and a very awesome one doesn't exclude it from the fact that it has some errors and things that cartoon giant Nickelodeon wants to hide from you. So get ready, because here are some strange details that you can find in SpongeBob SquarePants. Number 1. Club SpongeBob. Have you ever gotten trapped in a forest? Well, it seems like our protagonists did in this episode from Season 3. This adventure might have our heroes leading with a dangerous and strange situation, but let's look at some interesting moments from the episode.
Could I have something to eat?
No.
Could I have something to eat?
No.
Could I have something to eat?
No. Try asking again.
Can I have something to eat?
No.
This was an interesting moment for sure, but did you find anything interesting here? Well, if you paid enough attention, when Squidward starts asking questions to the magic shell, we see that there are a couple scenes where the camera zooms into Squidward's arms to gain a proper view of the object. It's in the last one that we found an error. The last time that the shell answered Squidward's questions, our grumpy octopus's hand was yellow. He has switched hands with SpongeBob. Maybe isolation and starvation have affected Squidward to the point that he doesn't even know what his arms look like. But let's move on into other moments, shall we?
Hey, SpongeBob, that sure is a lot of food you got there.
This might be a detail easier to miss, but Patrick's eyelids are in constant change throughout this episode. When he's pouring ketchup all over his mouth, his eyelids are white instead of their usual purple, and a couple moments after, his eyelids change again, this time to a pinkish tone. This is funny, but also a little bit messy. Number 2. Patrick Smartpants. Have you ever thought about what would happen if you hit your head with something really hard? Well, Patrick experienced this in this episode, and he became super intelligent. We just gave you a brief intro to this episode. We decided to show you some suspicious moments.
You're it! Wait, Pat, you're it! The sign!
Patrick's hyperintelligence hasn't developed, at least at the start of the episode. Let me explain. When Patrick and SpongeBob are both playing, Patrick starts to run away from Bob in what will later be his demise by falling off the cliff. His mouth is doing some pretty strange things. If you look at that scene when Patrick is running away, his mouth is moving much like he is laughing, but if you pay attention, he isn't making any kind of sound. Such a weird moment if you ask me. Let's move into another strange moment that we've found.
Well, Patrick, what do you think about this problem?
You simply change the literal term to a coefficient, and the minuend will achieve the desired quotient.
This might be a more intelligence-based moment, but have you checked the equation on the blackboard? Well, when Patrick is at Sandy's place and changes the equation on the blackboard, the equation changes back to what it was before. Patrick also seals this by saying, even the simplest of mammals could figure it out with a little thought. Number 3. Squidtastic Voyage. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to travel inside Squidward's body? Well, this episode is a weird one, but let's check it out.
Reed is still stuck in my throat, and it's all your fault.
Into your problem.
A submarine.
That's right, Squidward. Let me show you. This whole lab is called the Chamber of Shrinkage. I'll shrink the sub and myself down to microscopic size.
As you could see in the beginning of the episode, Squidward swallows his clarinet, and this provokes him to make many clarinet noises non-stop. Funny, right? Well, actually, that doesn't last long enough, because just a couple moments after, we see that our protagonists are talking in Sandy's lab to search for a solution for Squidward, but those noises aren't anywhere to be found. Seems like he was magically healed.
Why don't you just shrink the reed?
Squidward, always wanting to do it the hard way.
Did you find something strange happening, Sandy? Well, in this scene in the lab, there are a couple of frames where Sandy's tail disappears. We're really accustomed to seeing those kinds of errors throughout the show's history, but it is never a bad time to notice them.
I'm already on it.
2 hours later.
This stupid hammer won't break anything.
Lastly, we found a very strange thing that was worth noticing, because when SpongeBob and Patrick got the readout, they were in Squidward's throat, but when the submarine came out, they were located in Squidward's stomach. Such a weird change of scenery. Number 4, Sailor Mouth. We all think that being a show for kids, SpongeBob's vocabulary has to be clean and without any bad words, right? This episode might be the exception to that. This looks funny, right? Well, this doesn't come with its fair share of errors and funny glitches to watch. Let's watch it together.
Taking out the trash, taking out the trash. Dumpster writing. The voice of the people. Up with bubbles, down with air.
These first moments of the episode are home to the first error we found. Did you find something strange in the dumpster? Well, in case you haven't, here's a little clue for you. Just take a look at the graffiti that was written on the dumpster. In between messages, there is the word nematodes, T-O-A-D-S. Well, that is also a writing mistake because the correct spelling for the word is T-O-D-E-S. We don't know if this is made on purpose, but it is strange nonetheless.
It tingles when I laugh. Hello, customers.
This is a really cool one. Just look at the Krusty Krab for a little while. Has something caught your attention? The Krusty Krab has a sign that says "Help Wanted." This is really strange because we don't think that Bikini Bottom's most famous restaurant needed new employees. Number 5, Squid on Strike. Squidward isn't known to be the kindest person around, but this time he goes on strike to rebel against Mr. Krabs. These are some of the best moments of the episode. While fighting against Krabs' oppression and having a great revolutionary mind is a great thing to do and to have, this episode had some funny things to talk about.
I bet old man Krabs is gonna break any day. Squidward, 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 Squidward.
Sometimes having a great sign is the perfect kickstart for making a good revolution. Well, if you had a fast mind, you would have found something strange in this scene. At the start of the scene, the sign says, "Krusty, still unfair," but just a couple moments later, the sign says, "Krabs, still unfair." Maybe their enemies have changed from one scene to another. Well, there you have it. These are some glitches and small details that for sure Nickelodeon doesn't want you to find in SpongeBob SquarePants. Please leave a like on the video and subscribe to our channel so we can provide you with even more SpongeBob content. Until the next time, goodbye!